and welcome to episode 14 of our McLaren F1 Manager series, as we are in the summer break after the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa, the sprint and race, and we had quite poor pace actually across that weekend up until the race, so we thought we were seeing the first signs of a drop-off as we've stopped developing this car effectively this year. Really poor pace through, as I say, the qualifying and sprint race. But actually, we did seem to find some pace in the race, and Lando again coming away with some points, and Oscar coming away in that zone of 12th to 14th, which we're expecting from him. So all in all, a pretty good weekend. As I say, we're now in the summer break, so 25 days until the next Grand Prix in the Netherlands. So we've got a bit of work to do on the car, maybe some research projects finishing off. As I always say, if you are new to the channel or you're returning but you're not yet subscribed, please do smash that subscribe button, do like the video and get involved in the comments. But without further ado, let's crack on with episode 14, working through this summer break and onto the Dutch Grand Prix. So we have had a rear wing project complete, so we want to go in and replace that one. We've now completed one research on rear wing, but we will actually do another one. We've got some CFD hours left. Let's whack those on. And again, we're focusing on that sort of low speed because that's what's going to take the biggest hit. Brake cooling is not great, but we'll focus that on the car next year. So I think if we just focus on these again for now. And we'll put one engineer on that one. It's going to take 25 days, sorry, is Zandvoort. It's going to take 43 days at a cost of 1.4 million. So we want to research a new suspension. We'll use the rest of our allocation here. So we probably do want to improve that brake cooling a little bit. Again, low speed. And we'll put one engineer again on this one. So completion of 40 days for this one and 1.3 million. And there we are. We are fully into research now then. So no designs being put on the car now. And we're unlikely to do any more design work for the rest of this season. So we are going to start dropping back in the grid. Certainly, I would expect in the next few races. And we'll see where we are by the end of the season. But our season objective of 7th should be pretty safe. So happy with where we're at. And 25 days till the Dutch Grand Prix. So we're only going to see one of these research projects finish, which will be the front wing. So on the last episode, we did mention we were looking at scouting a race engineer. This is because William Joseph, Lando's engineer, had rejected our contract. He's rejected our final offer, which I think was close to 1.6 million. So we thought he may as well have a look on the market. We've done some scouting on GP and Bono. GP's not interested in joining us. Bono is open. He's looking at 1.9 million, but he's probably going to want more than that. But we are going to jump in and just see what we can do, just to see what he would be actually interested in. It would be for car 2. Be happy to offer him long contract and from next season. I'll go for 2.2 million. And we will give him £300,000 signing on bonus. Let's see what he says to that. Well, he has accepted it. I've probably gone a bit overboard there then, haven't I? But we'll take it. So, William Joseph, as I say, rejected 1.6 million. He might have accepted 1.7, 1.8. For the difference of 400,000, I think it's worth getting Bono in. And Bono will be Lando Norris's race engineer from next season. It's going to cost 300,000 for now, so we take that. As we see, Bono is going to replace Will Joseph next year. It's whether we try and retain Will Joseph in the place of Tom Stallard, because Tom is only 81 rated, but we'll see. There's no immediate pressure for us to do anything on that. We are going to carry out some more scouting, though, on drivers, and I'm actually interested to have a look at Pierre Gasly and Bottas. And this is, of course, looking at options to replace Oscar Piastri. We haven't made a decision on that, but we're just looking at our options, seeing what we might do come the end of the season. Right, we also need to look at our pit crew training for the month ahead. And thanks for a tip from the community on this channel. Dino, give you a shout out for helping me out on this. And I've shaped this up a lot better now. So we're going for sort of a mixed approach in terms of what we're training on. We're getting a lot more rest time in. And once we get to the next Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix, they're coming in. We've reduced that fatigue down to tired. And unfortunately, they do get to weary on the Sunday, but it's a lot better. We were reaching sort of exhausted on the Saturday and Sunday, so that's a good little reduction. And then when we get into this next week, we can bring that right down. So we're starting to manage that a lot better, and hopefully we'll see a decrease in our pit stop errors, and over time, hopefully reduce our pit stop time as well. Also in this summer break, we've also had our CFD simulator upgrade complete. So we're now up to level 3 on that, as you can see here. So we're getting good increase in terms of our performance on these units of testing. So airflow, downforce, drag reduction, DRS delta, airflow sensitivity, and airflow front. In truth, in the game, doesn't make too much of a difference upgrading these. But as I say, had quite a bit of cash this season, so it's worth doing in that sense. But if you're looking to save cash, or there's better things to spend cash on if you're in a different sort of save, so not necessarily one I'd recommend, but yeah, that's something you can do, especially if you've got young drivers, is the race simulator. That is certainly worth doing because you get a good, as you can see, weekly development bonus. So up to 80% here at level 4. We could go for level 5. It's 8 million. I'm not going to do that as yet. But that's definitely worthwhile upgrading that if you've got young drivers in your team. I think it's interesting just to see where we are now after that summer break in terms of where the car sits on the grid. As you can see, we've gone right down. We were sort of 8th, 9th and 10th in this low, medium and high speed. We're now 14th and 15th. So what's that? Probably the 7th fastest car on the grid. Yeah, I think looking at all of these, we're probably 7th fastest. So you've probably got AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo. And then you've probably got Haas or Williams in there. We're probably amongst the Haas and Williamses, to be fair. So judging by this, we shouldn't have enough in the car to battle for points. But as we know, Lando can outperform it. So we might have a chance just to creep into 10th and start getting us, getting us a point or two. But we'll see how that goes. But as I say, the back end of the season probably is not going to be too exciting for us, as we've not really got the car anymore as we've stopped developing it. But we'll see how we go. Might get some surprises along the way, and we'll just do our performance targets. So I'm still happy to say we're going to reach Q2. Other than that, I don't want to confirm anything else. And with that, I think we're ready to get into the Dutch Grand Prix and begin practice. So Oscar out in the pit lane, and we'll get Lando Norris right behind him. This first practice session in the Dutch Grand Prix. Let's hope for some quick setups to 100% if we can.
Yep, ready to check.
Yes, everyone is okay.
Hulkenberg is out of the session.
And virtual safety car deployed. Virtual safety car deployed. Drive to the Delta.
Yeah, confirm.
Doesn't look like we're going to get a replay of that, unfortunately.
I think everything's fine.
I got another yellow flag as Esteban's had a spin.
Sorry for the cut.
So as we finish practice in the Dutch Grand Prix, Zandvoort, we have a 99% driver preparation for Lando, 100% track acclimatization, 100% car parts knowledge, and just 1% off that magic 100% setup satisfaction, but we'll certainly take 99%. And Oscar Piastri, we just missed out on that track acclimatization as we didn't extend his stint long enough. So unfortunately, 91% track acclimatization, 100% car parts knowledge. He does get 100% setup satisfaction, and he's got a driver prep of 97%. So all in all, pretty happy with that. Driver prep of 97% for Oscar, 99% for Lando as we head into qualifying. As we are not going faster again.
That is the checkered flag.
So Hulkenberg's across the line. So Ocon's on an in lap, so we might still be pretty good here. We're looking good. We are through, and Ocon, I believe, is out of session still. So that still worked out well for us in that first Q1 session.
Yes, it is.
Albon's crashed.
Albon's involved in that.
Ooh, lost the back end there. Everyone's on in laps, so I don't think there's not many cars out on the track now. So these laps are gonna count. It is a green sector, so hopefully we go green, because I think everyone else has now set a time on a dry compound tyre. So what are we looking to find here? Piastri needs a good 2 seconds. So both going green. Hamilton looks like he's had a bit of a mare. Bit of a mixed grid at the moment in terms of getting through to Q3. Sainz in the garage, so is Hamilton, so they are both out, and K-Mag. So the only drivers that can get out of the bottom 5 in Q2 at the moment are our 2 drivers, the McLarens. Can we do it? Can we make it happen? Oscar comes across the line. No, up to 12th. What is Lando going to do?
Okay, P12.
If you could keep your pace up on the
Can Lando make it through to Q3?
Yep.
He can indeed. Bumps Alex Albon, who had that crash, down to the bottom 5. And we have a very, very interesting elimination zone in Q2 with Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri in 13th, Lewis Hamilton, and K-Mag. So there we have it. Q3 results are in. And Fernando Alonso, the old boy, has grabbed himself pole, followed by Max Verstappen in his home Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is in 3rd. Perez will start 4th. Stroll will start 5th. Russell 6th. Hulkenberg 7th. Gasly 8th. Sargent 9th. And Lando Norris didn't run. We saved our parts and tyres. And therefore, qualifying 10th. But we will drop down the grid due to grid penalties. And Oscar Piastri the same in 13th, but will drop down as well. So split strategy as in Oscar's going to go a longer run on those mediums to begin with. We're going to have Lando start on the softs. Here we go then, taking penalties, starting at the back of the grid. Split strategy. Lando needs to make some moves early on to make his strategy work.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oscar might go light just off the start here.
So Oscar, we can look after this time.
There's Lando. Bold start. Can he get up to 17th here? Can he get Danny Rick on the inside? Ex-teammate? No, not looking likely there. We'll work through some of these laps. So what have we got tyre-wise around us? So Ricciardo's on the softs, quite mixed actually. George Russell, an outlier on the hards. He's definitely gone differently. Stroll only 90% on his soft, so he's probably going to be one of the first to stop, apart from Lando. Probably going to be Lando, followed by Stroll, I'd imagine, on the first stops. Just want Oscar to stay on the back of these, so
Okay, push.
just preserve that for a little bit to begin with Oscar. Danny Rick is still not past Bottas here, and Bottas is now 2 seconds back on Tsunoda. Piastri now very close to Zhou.
Copy.
Let's see if we can get Guan Yu. Go on, Oscar. Sends it down the inside. Good work from Oscar. So we're up to 18th and 19th, taking grid penalties, so he moved down to the back of the grid. Lando would have started 10th. Piastri would have started 13th.
Copy.
We'll drop him down to standard. You can see the problem here now. Danny Rick, we need We might have to try a bit of attack just to get Lando
close.
past here.
Can use overtake.
Confirm.
And this looks like we're getting the job done here. On the outside. No, yes, maybe. Come on, Lando, get it done. I think if we get Danny Rick, we'll get Bottas. And that is Lando past Daniel Ricciardo.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Yeah, confirm.
You see a replay of that. Danny Rick tried to fight it, tried to hold on to it. And Lando put him onto attack, really pushing now. And got that move done. We need to get past Bottas on this back straight. And then we'll be up, pushing to Yuki Tsunoda.
Not easy to overtake.
So we look like we're already past
Keep what
Bottas.
you're doing.
Well, that's good work. So we are meant to be attacking this stint, so we can go back to attack now with Lando.
Okay, Lando, 100.
As we see a replay of that one as well.
Look at the McLaren driver here. It's certainly inviting.
Oscar Piastri is a monster. I think it's more to do with Lando being held up by Danny Rick and Bottas that he's so close. But this will be interesting because Piastri on that medium tyre.
Push now.
Yeah, the driver cam is great. There's new cameras coming in the new game that I saw the dev call this week, and they're raving about them, but they haven't shown them off yet. As we go on board again, I think it's exactly where Norris got Danny Rick. And it looks like Piastri is going to do the same. He has indeed. And let's see if he can repeat Lando with going after Bottas on that start-finish straight as well.
Here we are then at the 11th corner.
So deja vu really for Danny Rick, seeing a McLaren taking him on that part of the track. And Bottas same is going to see some papaya straight back in his rearview mirrors. Here we go, this should be easy work for Oscar. Alongside now. And job done for Oscar. Here we go, Lando. Can he make this move stick? Come on, we need to get this done now, Lando. We finally get past Yuki. That's taken a lot of work.
Lando for lane.
Yep, okay.
Hopefully this will be a good stop. We have done better training with the guys. Saying that, then I'll get a mistake. At 2.7, no mistakes. We'll take no mistakes.
Clear at exit.
Make Lando a race winner. Yeah, he hasn't won one yet, has he, in real life? Soon, I feel. Surely it's got to be on the cards for Lando in real life to get a victory. Although it might be difficult with that dominant Red Bull in Max's hand, and Ferrari looking half decent this year as well. As we have a look at that overtake, so Lando...
Now the focus is on Lando Norris.
Get it done in the end, late braking, a lot more grip.
It's there for the taking.
Danny Rick at the end of life on those tyres. Surprised he hasn't pitted actually. Now at 30%, so he'll have a significant drop off. Bottas on medium, so he doesn't need to come in anytime soon, so we do need to pass him. Banu Zhou's had a pit stop issue. So we can really push on that last stint as Lando get much more grip. Hopefully getting this done on Bottas, and then we should have a good bit of free air. Piastri 9 seconds up the road, but he won't. If we do reach him for his pit, we will move him out of the way. Ocon out and Albon out, so Lando has jumped Alpine and Williams. But the Haas is yet to pit, and Sargent. I don't think anyone else will be in our race there. Norris is now closing up to Piastri, so we will ask Piastri to let Lando by. As Oscar moves out of the way then, doesn't hold Lando up. Sainz has a pit stop issue, so Sargent continues, Hulkenberg pits. Sainz still in the pit. That's a long old pit stop for Carlos Sainz. What on earth happened there? Norris has passed him. Piastri nearly passed him as well. Hulkenberg's out of the pits now. And Norris now 4.6 behind Logan Sargent, but he's got a pit, and so is Magnussen. So we should be a net 9th once they pit. Magnussen has a pit stop issue as well.
There,
This was Kevin Magnussen pitting. However, they can't
The
seem to
jack
jack
problem
the car up.
by the looks of it, yeah. He's held for a long time as well, so that could be good news for Piastri. Longer in this Grand Prix, as Sainz now
see
does
what
get
happened.
Norris, as expected.
Here we are then looking at turn 12.
So you're not going to fight
They
this, we're
decide to
not
give it a go.
fighting the Ferrari in this race. Sainz out of position after that slow stop.
And Sainz gets by without too much trouble.
Alright, we need to think about bringing Oscar in. It is a little bit earlier than expected. That is fine. Let's see where Oscar comes out here. So Lando's really in a fight for maybe this last point position with Ocon.
Understood.
Albon maybe as well. See what this stop is for Oscar. 2.7. We'll take that. No traffic, so he's got clear air. Jumping Ricciardo and the two Alfa Romeos. So he's got a nice little gap now as Piastri. Back to track, because I thought we were going to witness Ocon getting straight past us, but it's not happened. As I say, there's about 2.5% in the tyre difference, so expect a drop off now. Is Ocon going to finally make that work for him? It looks like he's going to get it done now. And he does. As I say, not fighting that. If we can stay with Ocon, we're still going to be in good shape here. Piastri's 18.6 back on Sargent. He's not really making too much inroads on him, so Piastri's race sort of in no man's land at the moment. So we're forward on. We're going to get overtaken by certainly Magnussen, maybe Albon as well. Gasly's pitting now. So he's now going to be on the medium. That's very early. Piastri's not going to be anywhere near him. Tsunoda is past him. So Gasly's going to encounter quite a bit of traffic here. Unless these all going to pit pretty soon. He's got 4.4 to Tsunoda. He'll close that pretty quickly. Tsunoda is very slow at the moment. Gasly would want Tsunoda getting into the pits.
Now this was at turn 1. There's the opening.
K-Mag's past us, certainly faster in this phase of the Grand Prix. Ocon's now in the pits. Is that a slow stop? Or? Piastri about to be lapped by Charles Leclerc and Perez, who are fighting for the lead here. Ocon's out in 15th behind his teammate Gasly. They're on mediums now to the end. I feel the Alpine strategy, I don't think it's going to work for them. I could be wrong, but see how far ahead they are when everyone else pits. But if everyone else is running softs on the final stint, they might struggle for points, which is good for us in our championship battle with them. Don't think we can hold them off and secure 6th because we're not developing the car, but eventually it might be a weekend where they don't score any points. That'll be handy for us. Now he finally
Let's
gets
have a
us.
look at that. Heading down the straight, the opportunity begging to be taken.
So he gets it done before the start-finish straight.
And that's 10th place and up into the...
Right.
Okay,
Hopefully
understood.
no mistakes here. Not as quick as the stops, but at least there's not a mistake in there.
Be careful of cars at
They're
exit.
being lapped. And he's going to meet his teammate out here. Move out of the way, Oscar, come on. So the two Hasses now pitting. Hulkenberg's out now, Norris is past him, Magnussen is ahead of Norris, so yep. It looks like points are going to be a struggle here. To be fair, we did start at the back of the grid, so it was always going to be a bit of a grind, and as I say, we haven't got the car really. We're now probably the 7th fastest car on the grid. Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri, 9th and 10th. Then between 6, 7, 8 is a mix of us, Williams, and the Hasses. To be fair, Oscar's in no man's land really here anyway, so I don't think he's going to be doing too much. .8, we'll take that. Still a bit more work to get these pit stops down, but no errors in any of our pits today, which is handy. We should be able to run on aggressive to the end.
We can use the pace now.
Yep.
Oscar, you can reduce the LICO slightly.
Copy.
.20 off Sonoda, so yeah. Sonoda got a pit again? No, he has not. So yeah, it's looking like a bit of a dead race for Piastri down in 17th. What's Lando got here then with some DRS? Looking good. Yes, should hold on to this now, Lando. So up to 11th, and Magnussen, whilst we get Ocon, has got Gasly. So Gasly is the next car up the road. Have
Now, we
a
should be able to
replay of
take
that
a look
overtake.
here. So here we go, heading into turn 1. Can they squeeze by? The points in touching distance now. They're 11th.
Good work from Lando. So points still a possibility here, mainly because of Gasly. Right in the DRS now of Gasly. Can we get him here? Road got his teammate. Opens up the outside for us. Defends heavily to the inside, but it looks like we're going to have this done, are we? Yes. Gasly's going to hold it, but we should have inside coming up here.
Overtaking is very difficult.
That's right, Lando. You still got it. You still got it. Gasly's going to hold on to it, it looks like.
I'd like recharge button off, please. Recharge button off.
I'll stay in this.
Confirm.
As
Here's the
Piastri gets
replay.
Sonoda whilst
Now,
we
there's
are
the
fighting
car of
Gasly.
Piastri. The gap
Piastri
opens
did make
up
his
for
way
them.
up to Yuki Tsunoda and makes that move. Superior grip.
And that's 16.
Oscar's up to
Just
16th.
recharge off, please. Just recharge off.
He's got 10 seconds to Hulkenberg. I don't think he's going to make too much of an impression on that. Six to go, and unfortunately Magnussen's dropped back to Gasly, which will now open up a DRS train, and that's not what we wanted.
Just be careful with this tyre.
So we might just have to go for a bit of conserve and preserve the tyres. Get a bit of harvesting to build up for
And recharge on is okay,
the move
please.
later on. I'd expect Magnussen will go for another push. Gasly's dropped off again now, so this is our chance.
And
Especially before we get
overtaking is
lapped here.
available.
We want this done now.
Stay close.
Come on, Lando, get it done this time.
5 laps to go.
It's looking better this time. Gasly wants to stick it out again, though. But Lando's got it done this time. Should have got it done the first time, but he's got it done now, which is handy because we've got Perez
Let's take a
coming
closer
behind
look.
us to
Now
lap
this
us.
was at turn 1. It's there for the taking.
It looked like Gasly was going to have
That's
that
10th place
back
and up
again,
into the
but Lando
points.
stuck it out on the outside. Good traction off the corner. As I say, we've got Perez coming up to lap us, so it had to be done then, because we're going to have to move out of the way shortly.
Well
There
done.
we go, across the line. Perez has won it, followed by Charles Leclerc. A little bit of a gap back to Verstappen because we are lapped. Norris has finished 10th and gained a valuable point for us there. Piastri's going to come home in 16th, got within 3 seconds of Hulkenberg in the end. And
Oscar, this is the
Hulkenberg
checkered
was
flag.
right on Sargent. So Piastri was in amongst those drivers. It's always going to be a hard afternoon from starting to the back of the grid. But a good solid drive, I'd say, from both drivers there. So look at this. Such a mixed grid was this one with different penalties going on. But the final order, Sergio Perez wins it up 3 places from Charles Leclerc in 2nd. Max Verstappen not winning a race for once in our series here. He finishes 3rd, going down a place. Fernando Alonso, who started on pole, finishes 4th. Carlos Sainz up 7, 5th. Lewis Hamilton does one better, going up 8, finished 6th. Lance Stroll 7th. George Russell 8th. As I say, these Hasses are coming alive in the back end of this season. K-Mag up 6 places to finish 9th. And Lando finishes 10th. I'm sorry, I was just working out why we're not gone up, but this is obviously not worked out that we had a penalty, because we certainly didn't. This is saying we started 10th and finished 10th, which isn't the case. We qualified 10th and we qualified 13th. That's not where we started on the grid though, because we took 10 place penalties. So we actually started 19th and 20th. So Lando up 9 positions to finish 10th and get a point. So not giving him the credit for how many positions he gained actually there. And Oscar said he was down 3, but actually moved up 3 to gain 16th. Hard race because we got bogged down on a DRS train early on. Made it very difficult for later on in the race. But I'm not holding any blame against Oscar for that one. But as I say, good drive again from Lando. You finished 10th. Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen gains 15 for that 3rd place, but still leading the way pretty comprehensively from Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez gaining on 2nd place with his win. Carlos Sainz down 1, being jumped by Perez. But pretty close in this fight for 2nd place. Only, what, 29 points is that? 29 points, yeah, between Charles in 2nd, and Carlos Sainz in 4th. As I say, I think Verstappen is pretty much out of reach. Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, the 2 Astons, in 5th and 6th, and then the 2 Mercs. Hamilton jumping Russell now by a point after that result, 7th and 8th respectively. Lando hanging on to 9th place, gaining another point, so now up to 43 points for the season. Ocon is 15 points behind him. As I say, I don't think we're out of sight for Lando to get that 9th place. We're hoping to finish in the top 10 with him, but it's going to be touch and go. More Pierre Gasly, so there is definitely a chance to finish in top 10. And as we say, Oscar Piastri yet to score a point. And Haas, after gaining a point, they have now gained another 2 in K-Mag, and they'll jump Williams in the Constructors, which looks like Red Bull leading the way, plus 40, so Perez getting the win, Max in 3rd, so they're far and away out in 1st place by 110 points, so nailed on to win this Constructors this year. Ferrari 2nd, they made that their own, back from Aston Martin, who depends on the development race for the rest of the season. There is a chance Mercedes might be able to catch them. And then we've got ourselves in 5th, as I say, gaining a point, but there's only a 4-point margin to Alpine, and they do have a better car than us, and it will generally get better and better every race, as we are not developing this car at all. So I'll be very surprised if we hold on to 5th in this series. I think we're going to finish 6th, but the seasonal objective is 7th, so I think we're pretty comfortable with that. So we're in 5th at the moment, 43 points. Alpine in 6th, 39. Then we've got Haas, who have got 3 points with that extra 2 from K-Mag today, jumping Williams, who are in 8th, and AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo yet to score a point. And if you've reached the end of this episode, thank you for your support. And if you want to go that little step further and you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, do like this episode and get involved in the comments. We will be back very soon with the next episode in this F1 Manager McLaren series.